And welcome back, everybody, to Lights Out League Racing Season 30, Race 4, and it's now the turn of the Div 2 boys, and those that have just watched Div 1 race, and those that are expecting the analytic tones of Mr. Jax Daniels. He's not with me this week. He has just won his first racer proper in Lights Out League Racing, so I'm sure he's celebrating as hard as he can. He'll be wetter than the queue for Bonnie Blue. Don't blame him. It's an absolute feat, especially when you got likes of Callum hunting you down. And there'll be plenty hunting each other down in this Div 2 race. One or two new faces reserving for us. D-Sing Racing in the Ferrari for Danny Dine. And NASCAR Freak filling in for Danny in the Aston Martin alongside Keezer Geezer. Keezer Geezer, of course, winning his first race last week at Silverstone in a very tricky conditions. And let's see who's going to come a cropper. I'll tell you who looked quite tasty in the Div 1 race was Benji and Chessbowl, so they're ones to keep an eye out for. Dunsterino, who's leading the way round this outlap, is on good form. Won in the Challenger division in Miami, got himself on the podium last week. What can he do this week as he does the first hot lap in Jeddah as he approaches turn 1 in a hard braking zone? Take the curb to lead you into turn 2. Going to get a good rotation out of the corner, avoid the wall, and an easy to oversteer as you approach the blind corner of turn 4. Stay as close as possible to the wall. Don't go wide on turn 5, otherwise you're going to invalidate or hit the wall through the tricky turn 6 to 8 where you go flat out. Don't rail the curb of turn 9 round the blind corner, and the very tricky turn 8 where we saw plenty of people go deep round turn 13. It's a sweeping banked cambered corner, use the inside line, most grip, run close to the wall, flat out on the exit, just smooth action, approach the blind hander of turn 16. A little bit of understeer approaching that corner would have cost him a couple of tenths out of turn 17, approaching DRS through the S's until we get to the blind left-hander of turn 22. The curves can be dangerous on the exit, so don't rail them either. As we approach the DRS zone, flat out down near the end of the lap. Very good overtaking opportunities. Many did it on the outside in Div 1. Round the final corner, stay as far right on the approach. Flip the apex as much as you dare. Foot down on the throttle on the exit. Open DRS as we approach the line on the left to minimise the distance of the lap, and it's a 28.3 first lap for the Sauber. Next we've got Benja. Be interesting to see what he could do this week. And goes, he's on an outlap. But Keezer Geezer slots onto the front row, 28.6, 3 tenths off Justorino then. Keezer Geezer had a trial in the Div 1 race, was not a big fan. Kessler and Benchod, 3rd and 4th as it stands. But there's going to be times flying in now as drivers crossing the line. Though some doing a lap and some starting a lap. As Mr. Terry's Reds missed a 10-second penalty. Currently on the front row, the 28.4, just a tenth behind, or half a tenth behind Justorino. Liverpool 3-0 against the carrier bag, and I think Tottenham are 1-0 away to Frankfurt. Rep Saka joins us back in the Alpine this week after his race ban last week. P7. Dan Morris jumps on provisional pole, 28.1. Good lap from Mercedes reserve. Guna currently running P4 with that surprise pole last week. Was the better driver in those conditions. Come out of nowhere like Randy Orton. He's currently P5. It's Benji. you 27.8, so good 3/10 ahead of Dan Maris, the only one in the 27s. Chess Bowl, P6. Let's have a look. We've got 3 who are going to jump over the across the line. Validation from NASCAR. He's going again. What can D-Sing Racing do? I believe he's a karting driver, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. But goes P12, Magel slots behind him, so 30s and 31s respectively. Interesting to see what they can do. 1, 2 drivers slightly out of sync, so I don't think everybody will be able to do 3 runs here. Lennon missed last week, unfortunately, but it's good to see him back, and he's definitely a title challenger if he can be consistent with attendance for the rest of the season. Benji is the one to watch. He's got a 30-point gap on Geezer at the moment, so any points gains as Benchard has got himself up to P2. Wow, good lap from the challenger driver. And I'm pretty sure these times will trickle down. Well, that's a cracking lap from the Mercedes. Around turn 22 here for Lennon. Josh just starting his lap. Back in the Haas, where he belongs. Good evening, Sing Racing. Good evening, Terry Reds lover. Hope you enjoy the stream, enjoy the race. Whoever Terry Reds lover is. P6 for Lennon on his first run, as Clen is up to P7. Clen last week went from last to P5, so shows the speed that he has. NASCAR going again. Already done a couple of laps and invalidated both. Let's keep an eye then on Josh. Pushed Chessball all the way last season in Challenger. Just couldn't quite catch up to him, but has the pace and the finish to get promoted, and is competing in the professional tier now, and we'll be looking to get some good points on the board for the Haas constructors. Those that end up near the top end of the drifts his back end, almost clatters the wall. Managed to keep it going. Good control of the car. Goes to P12. I think he'll be eyeing a bit of a better finish. NASCAR struggling. Now Sygate, P12. Got fastest lap last week. As Ricciardo Milos, P4 above his teammate. Mercedes and Saubers looking spicy this week. Good evening, Callum. I bet you were sweating in that race, and maybe another lap and you would have had him. But I think Jax was had put a brilliant show on. And a well-deserved win for him. Tostorino is invalidated. Let's have a look at Kessler then in the Red Bull. Got himself on the Challenger podium once again in Silverstone. Trying to creep up out of nowhere. And gets himself some really good points. And he's currently second in his standings, only 14 points behind Tostorino, who's leading the way. Yeah, I could tell you maximum push, your ERS blinking all the time. I wonder if Regan McKinnon is available yet. He's still not here. Let me see if he's online. Just missing the one driver. I don't know if he'll have enough time to... Don't know if he's going to join us. Oh, he's there. Let's see if we can get him in. Come on, Regan McKinnon. Get in. He should have enough time to do at least one run. Around the final corner here for Kessler. And Regan's in. So we've got a full complement of cars. You love to see it. As Kessler stays P15, although he gained 3/10 on his lap. We've got coming round closest. Guna. Starting his lap. Terry Reds. Almost half a second gain by the looks of it. It will get him into the 127s. Could it get him onto the front row or even pole? P3, not quite enough. 28 flat. Benja now down on his time, so he's messed up somewhere. But Chespo, 27.8. Woo! What's that? 11 thousandths between him and Benji. Cracking lap from the Red Bull. And I told you in Div 1 he looked pretty good. As Benchod takes it off him, 27.7. Oh, it's all coming down now. Keys is invalidated. He's not going to be happy. Cleanse on his out lap. Who have we got crossing the line? May goes on an out lap. No, Benji. Can Benji take it? He doesn't improve. He's actually down, so stays P3. It's all happening. And I think it's going to go down right down to the wire. So the Challenger driver of Benchard currently on pole position. Couldn't we get back-to-back Challenger pole positions? NASCAR's managed to make it all the way round without crossing the white lines. Big up the Aston. Can the American get himself near the spearhead of the order? It's going to be close. And he's on pole. He's managed to nail 27.6 on debut. And currently on pole position. He's managed to nail this one. Josh crosses the line, 29.1. No improvement there. There's a flick down from Clem, who's into the pits then, so going for another lap. I can't tell who's going to get pole here. These times are just flicking, and Magel gets himself to 17th, improves by over a second. Liverpool 5-0 against a little carrier bag. Anything for a win. See what Laguna's in the pits. Let's see what Lennon can do then on his second run. NASCAR the one to beat. Just over 4 minutes to go. Chelsea 2 all the way to Napoli. Just over 3/10 up here for Lennon. 28.1, so that'll get him up to about P6. But I think he's going to be out of sync of qualifying, so he's not going to be able to do another lap after this one. So he's all or nothing now for the Ferrari. He's going to have his own Amazon series. Final sector, currently P10. Looks very smooth here. And we expect Lennon to be near the front. How much is he going to improve by? Oh, he's messed up. He's messed up, and I think that might be Lennon done. Josh is up to P7. I missed that one. Cracking lap from the Haas. Pulled that one out of the bag. Right, Paul Daniels. Relative of Jax Daniels. Kessler's invalidated. Sygate's on a hot lap. Regan McKinnon is ahead of him, so... And that's Kessler done, so the highest he's going to start is P17. This is going to be all or nothing for Regan McKinnon. His only hot lap. Got himself the Challenger win last week. And he wants to try and emulate that with back-to-backs. Even get himself onto the proper podium. But it's very, very close. Half a second between P3 and P11. As he comes through the final sector now. Looking half decent this lap. Managed to nail it. Where will he end up? Crossing the line. Everyone's coming out now for their final run. It's going to be quite congested. Hopefully no one trips over each other. Regan McKinnon crosses the line and he will be starting highest P11. Oh, Singh's disqualified. What are you doing facing the wrong way for? Sygate crosses the line and we'll start P16 then. P14 jumped up after that hot lap. Benchard will be the first one as he comes around turn 4 to cross the line now. I think these times are going to be dinging like a pinball machine. Everyone's going to be up and down like horse draws. Just slightly down on his time. Needs to find a bit more in this middle sector. And you can gain loads through turns 16 and 17 if you be brave. He's on the front row though. Which is no mean feat at all with all the drivers that he's competing against. See how he's doing out of sector 2. He's pretty much doing the same run Dunch Torino's done. So here the highest he'll start is P9. At the moment, Benchard's on pole for Challenger, Chespo on pole for Professional. I don't believe it'll stay the same. Can he gain any more time, Benchard? He does, and he goes on pole 27.534. Absolutely cracking. Absolutely brilliant. If I was Gary Barlow. I'm Gary Barlow. Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's see these times. Benji will start high as P3. Gooner up to P12 in the Haas. 1 or 2 diving straight into the pits, so not going to improve. Dan Morris now to cross the line. He's over 2 tenths up. We'll get him into the 27s. Came down to the second row. Up to P3 ahead of Benji. These reserves are showing him what needs to happen. Kisa P15. NASCAR back on pole. 27.3. Can he get pole on debut? Chespo will start high as P5. Terret is fucked up. He started P6. Invalidation for Josh. Ricciardo's in the pits. Clean's invalidated. Benja crosses the line. Will start P7. So good final lap from him. His teammates left to go. And we'll start P18. That's everyone done. And NASCAR takes pole on his first run out. Callum's loving it in chat. Lennon says he binned it in the second, in half a second up. Always happens, my friend. Always happens. But that was cracking qualifying, and it didn't go where I expected it to go. But on debut, NASCAR takes pole. Benchard takes on the front row and takes pole in Challenger. Damaris P3. Benji will then take pole on in the Professional. Chespo alongside Terry's. Benja P6 with Josh P7, P8. Ricciardo 9 and Destorino rounding off the top 10. 11th from McKinnon. Lennon, Guna, Klen, Sygate and Keyser, Kessler P17, Magel 18th, Rep Saka P19 and Dissing Racing on debut will start at the back after disqualifying, facing the wrong way. He's had his neck turned. He's seen some legs. Focus on your driving. It looks like a dry race, which you'd half expect here in the desert, but you never know what will happen during the race itself. So 1 or 2 having a very, very good qualifying. We'll be happy with it. Some think they could have done a bit better. That's the nature of racing. And it could be worse. It could be one shot. And if it was one shot, NASCAR wouldn't potentially have finished where he'd finished. But good credit to him. Held his nerve. I'm sure he's sweating like Mike Tyson at a spelling contest. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he gets on when he reserves for potentially for the rest of the season. Excuse for the neck lube. Oh, I needed that. I've been drinking way more water recently than I used to. I've replaced my some of my wine consumption with water consumption, and now I'm pissing like a racehorse. So hopefully I can hold it for the next 45 minutes or so. Who do you reckon's going to be on the podium in the chat? Then let me know. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Not like we need it. I'm not chasing subs. We're a relaxed league where drivers can come and relax and enjoy their racing. There's no pressure, no prizes. And just a social community for those to relax. Ben Shod says, insane lap from NASCAR. It was an insane lap from yourself as well, my friend. I did not expect you to pull that one out of the bag, especially after your Div 1 race. Can you follow it up? Dan Morris reckons NASCAR, Benji and Terry Reds for podium. Oh, you're bigging up Terry's here, but he's bound to get himself a 10-second penalty. I reckon it's going to be... I might as well say NASCAR. If he's got that pace in the race, I'll say NASCAR. I'll say... I'll say NASCAR. I'm going to say... I'm going to say NASCAR is going to take P1. I'm going to say Benji's going to go P2. And I reckon... I'm going to go Regan McKinnon P3. I would say Terry's, but I don't want him to have the pressure. Terry Reds has readied up. He gets 30-second penalty. Standard. The drivers are sorted out their strategies, their fuel loads. Get himself ready for the race, and we'll have a look at what everyone's strategies. Most people going on the mediums yet again. Benja, McKinnon, Lennon, Magel and Singh all started on the hards on the alternate, which worked well for Callum. But Jax went for the mediums and worked even better for him. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. This circuit. They used Google Earth for initial investigation for a circuit layout of where the best to put it. It's a very fast circuit. F1 legend Ross Brawn is an advocate for this track. He says he doesn't want a Mickey Mouse track, a street circuit with slow 90 degrees corners and a fast sweeping circuit. He wants to challenge drivers like this one is where we need to go. Just be nice if it was in a better location than the oil factory of Saudi Arabia. This track, 6.1 kilometers long, anti-clockwise with 27 corners, the most on the F1 calendar. There's 16 left and 11 to the right with three DRS zones. Very powerful. Benedict cheering on Chespo, his teammate in the Oval Constructors, of course. It's the third longest track on the calendar behind Las Vegas and Spa. And be interesting to see who makes it onto the podium themselves. And it's the one who pushes all the boundaries. It's the one that pushes their own limits. It's the one that keeps their wings and wheels out of the wall and out of trouble. And to be fair, mate, you know, Lennon's starting P12. He's been keeping himself out of trouble in the races that he's been having, and worked his way up the order. There's a 100% chance of a safety car, 50% chance of a VSC. Only the one stopper, with a 19.2% second pit stop. It's a short run for NASCAR down to turn 1 with a 168 metre run down from pole position to the braking point. So not much to defend. He just needs to get a good launch off the line. It's of course poles for both Aston Martins in both races. But we are 2, 3, 4, 5. It's race 4 of season 30 in Saudi Arabia, and it's out and away we go. And it's a good start for the front two. Dan Morris hanging on the outside, side by side for the Mercedes. Let's see, they hope they keep it clean. Dan Morris looks like he's just got his nose ahead though, ahead of his teammate. It's going to be clustered as we approach turn 4, which is normally where the magic doesn't happen. Lennon looks like, and Gunnar looks like they've lost out. Gunnar's getting swamped. It hasn't had any incident, but he's been swamped. Lennon down a couple of places as well. Big moves from Clennon Keyser. Well, it looks like they've all settled. Everyone's making it round as we approach turn 13. Just goes slightly wide there. The Haas driver. Benja's losing out as well. Lost a couple of places. Tends to be Mr. Consistent though. And I'm sure if his race continues as he has done, we'll find him in the top 6 or 7. Benedict saying Div 1, Dan making progress. Yeah, I think he learned a lot from the first race. As Benji taking advantage of Bench going deep. Well, I think it was Benji going deep, so he's let Bench past. Respectful driving there. Tottenham 2-0. Spurs being Spurs. And looks like everyone's made it round safely through lap 1. Gunnar dropping down again. We've got a train all the way down to the bottom. Singh getting past Raka. Singh working his way back up a couple of places from the back of the grid, and we'll look to try and close in on Gunnar ahead. But NASCAR has pulled a gap to Dan Morris and is pulling away. Showing great pace here, the American. Gunnar and Kessler exchanging positions. It's like Kessler's just gone offline slightly, and it's an easy overtake from Singh. Those hard tyres warming up, as Amazon says, it is a one-stopper. And Morris is on the defence from the cars behind, and meanwhile the car ahead is pulling away. Gunnar and Saigate exchange positions. Saigate around the gearbox of Gunnar, but Gunnar has it as Dan Morris is actually out, and I think that was his own doing. He's lost it coming round turn 22. And he was running so well. And I'd be surprised if his teammate made any sort of contact. He's all the way down to P19 now. And I don't think he's got damage. I think he'll be calling it. Oh, he's lost an end plate. An early pit stop for the Mercedes. NASCAR Freak. Looking solid on debut. Incredible job here from the stand-in Aston Martin. Earnshaw then the leader of the pack. And Seigate goes wide. And let's Singh and Kessler through. I think he made the overtake going off the track. So they had to give the positions back. So again, respectful driving there from the McLaren. Oh, he's lost his back end. He's hit the wall. Smashed up his wing. Coming round turn 17. He's facing the wrong way. He's got to get his car turned round before the game crucifies him. And he does so, and it's just a yellow flag. Josh is gone as well. Josh has lost it round the final corner. And 1 or 2 picking up some penalties. Ricciardo Milos losing a couple of positions. It's all congested at turn 1. And Red McKinnon's gone round. Lost traction. Safety cars aren't turned off. No, it's just Kane's been a bit more liable. Dustarino ahead of his teammate. That's unfortunate for Regan McKinnon. Lost his back end on his own. Saget in the pits as well, of course, hitting that wall. Josh in. He must have damage as well. 1-2 picking up some early penalties. So we've got a battle here for P2 down to Terry Reds. Earnshaw doing a fantastic job here for the challengers. Guna and Lennon have a good battle here. Different tiers, and at the moment Lennon's just got his nose ahead as we approach the final corner. Guna hanging on the outside. Lennon defending the inside. Lennon just ahead in this train. Another yellow flag. It's Magel by the looks of it. 1 or 2 drivers just can't control their car, and I have to actually check these settings, but I haven't changed them. Regan McKinnon in the pits, getting some fresh rubber on, fresh wing. Glenn running well in aim P8 here. Ricciardo Milos hunting down Dan Morris for that fastest lap on those fresh tyres. Benji doing fantastic on those hards. The lead runner on the alternate, and he's right behind Dustarino. Oh, Lennon on the outside at 13. Brilliant overtake on Giza. I'll be with you in a second, folks. And I'm back. Apologies. Priorities and all that. Ricky Maldomio's picked himself a penalty. He's not going to help him on the final standings, but he's so congested in this midfield. You can see on the mini-map how close everyone is. Chelsea taking the lead 3-2. As Josh gets himself on that fastest lap board. What's interesting is Benchon has closed the gap on NASCAR. NASCAR was pushing hard right at the start. Has he nailed his tyres too quick? Has he used up his ERS too much? But he's brought Benji along with it for the ride. And this is now a battle for P1. Either that or NASCAR is doing some tyre saving after that early stint. But he's under threat now from the cars behind. Chespo and Terry's having a smashing battle. 4P4. Terry's having a quick look at turn 2. Not able to make that move. Kiza with DRS makes an easy move on the Sauber of Milos. And up to P10. Top 10 now for Kiza. Which, considering he's not a big fan of this track, he's top 10's good show. And you never know where you finish at the end. Not far off the battle ahead. Ricciardo Milos losing positions as Guna goes past him. Benchard has made the overtake, and Benji. NASCAR down to P3. So he lost 2 positions at one corner. Lennon. No, Clen's in the pits now, so that's movement of drivers. Early pit stop from Clen. He's going on the 2-stopper by the looks of it. He's not going to get to the end on his hards from here. Interesting call from Clen. We saw with Higosh that 2-stopper didn't quite work. Harry's still stuck behind Chespo. Lennon. He's known for his penalties. Let's stick him in a semi-final in England. We'll need him for penalties. There's battle for front 3, and Benchard is leading the way. Can he get his first win in Lights Out League Racing? He's got one for the Challenger. His first season with us. Well, this will be an incredible job for the Mercedes. Oh, NASCAR going wide. And he's fell out of DRS. I think has he gone too hard with his tyres? Too hard, too soon. He's come in 20 seconds. Looking to overtake us. We go back to the front here as there's a battle with Benji and the Mercedes of Benchard, and Benji's got himself into the lead of the race. Benchard looks like he's quick and coming out of turn 3, pushing Benji around like a dog in a pram. And Clen has got past Saka with the aid of DRS up to P14 after his pit stop. As we see behind Regan McKinnon on the inside of Magel. Brilliant overtake for the Visa Carb. Penalties flying in left, right and centre. Come on guys, it's a street circuit with walls. What's Milos doing? I swear he's just got one. I think he's trying to set a record here. And it's shown by the Challenger leader this season so far. Doing a fantastic job in P7. Benchard will close the gap, of course. As Sygate's retired in the pits, he's had enough. Not liking Saudi Arabia. Not many do. But it's so tricky. As Regan McKinnon's got past Reb Saka with a brilliant overtake to turn 4. Benchard back in the lead of the race. Dan Morris, damage limitation. As we approach back to Lennon, who's carved his past Wade Dastarino. Everyone's making overtakes. I can't keep up. Magel and Saka. Saka diving on the inside of Magel. That wasn't a good move there from Saka on the final corner. He's diving in the pits. Dan Morris past Rick Marlis in the pits. And that's a penalty for NASCAR. So if we started from an absolute storming start to the race for the Aston Martin, it's unravelling like a ball of wool. And what's even incredible now is Chespo and Terry Reds are closing the gap on this front three. Just over 1.5 seconds behind, and if they keep battling, we could have a 5-car battle for the race win and the podium. Another penalty for Ricciardo Mills. How are you picking them all up here? Someone get him in. Singh up to P10. Oh, and Singh, as we see that, goes to the overtake and clatters the wall. And still no bloody safety car. I've definitely got to have to check the settings here. 1 or 2 drivers exchanging positions. NASCAR and Chespo both in the pits end. Chespo looking to potentially do an undercut. Benja on the alternate strategy with Lennon up to 4th and 5th respectively. And that releases Terry Reds then into some open air finally. Oh, I pressed the wrong bloody button. What's going on? Ah, shit. Better. Bambeck. Yeah, he's released now, but he's got Benja, whose tyres will be in a better condition now, closing in. Dan Morris making the overtake on Regan McKinnon as Clen and Guna going past NASCAR. NASCAR just come out on those fresh tyres. He's not happy. He doesn't have damage. He's not trying to make an overtake here. That's crazy. Ooh, I thought he was going to try it. That would have been crazy. He'll have DRS though to make a move on Guna now. Just getting past Singh as Ricciardo Milos on. Oh, this guy's he's having a laugh now, Ricciardo Milos. Or is he supposed to? No, does he know something? I don't. It's not raining. He's put bloody wets on. Benji now into the pits. And Terry Reds into the pits. So Benja and Lennon will go through. Bench has carried on. And it's a bit early for all these medium runners. They've definitely got to go for another lap at least. Another couple of laps. Keys is in the pits too. Ricciardo Milos has gone on wets. This guy is wet. Playing up to P6, getting past the Red Bull of Kessler. Oh, as we see, that's the Aston NASCAR trying to get past the Red Bull. Saw an opportunity, looking very racy. Needs to be careful on this circuit though, there's no room for error. Looks like he will probably go himself for trial limits on the line he took through turn 16. Going for the overtake again with Kessler. Good overtake for the Aston Martin now to P7. Kessler didn't fight it too hard. Both are different strategies, of course. Benji's come out in P5. Got plenty of open air. Bench is finally pitting. As Guna's lost out to Regan McKinnon. Benja takes the lead of the race. Where will Bench? Dosserino's in as well. Where will Bench come out? Clen is coming round. Who pit early. He's on a 2-stopper though. Bench should come out ahead of Clen, which is where he wants to be. It's behind Benji, who's jumped him and gained 4 seconds just on the undercut. Incredible. Chespo and Terry's all over each other like newlyweds. Get a room. But Chespo, with the earlier pit stop, has remained ahead. We jump back to this battle for the lead of the race. They've still got a pit, but they're going to come out on the medium tyres. And they've probably got a good couple of laps. And then looking for an overtake on Benji on the inside of the final corner. And that's a brilliant overtake from the Ferrari and takes the lead of the race. Cracking battle here from the professional drivers. Can Benji retake it? Takes a look, but Lennon has the lead. At the moment, it looks like full control here from Benji. It's going to be a tricky one to the end of the race. He should be able to make it. And as Regan McKinnon's into the pits, then Dustarino goes through. Round the back of Dan Morris. Dan Morris has got the penalty, of course. This is a great drive again from the Sauber. He's had a brilliant start to the season. And he's the one to beat in Challenger. Now I'll tell you who's gone his own business here. I mean, he's still got a pit, and if he can't go to the end, it'll be incredible. But he's running a net P3, Glenn. He's got NASCAR. Of course, he's got the penalty as well. For company. And we'll try and have to shake him off. Give him a Taylor Swift flick. Sereno having a look now here. Dan Morris tucks in behind, tries to switch on the inside of 22, and has to slot behind. Brilliant defence from Dan. Had too much pace, and Dusty just couldn't make the move, but there's, again, very wise driving from him to not try and force it through. And both hard runners now pit from the front. Benji takes the lead of the race. Benji has got the fastest lap and just showing the pace that he's got. And laps Ricciardo Milos, who's for some reason driving on wets. Clown move. Bozo the clown. So they come out of the pits. Lennon has come out ahead of Benja. Benja's stuck behind that battle between Dustarino and Dan. And Lennon's come out better of the two. Most definitely is Kessler overtaking Gunnar at turn 1. Gunnar will try and fight back, but Kessler is ahead. Up to P14 for the Red Bull then. Terry Reds still stuck behind Chessbowl. This is a great battle. Chessbowl, the Challenger champion, proven his worth. Regan McKinnon overtaking Meigel out of turn 10. A hot spot for overtakes. Benja managed to get past Dan on those fresh tyres. Dan on the 11 lap old hards. I don't think Dan probably held him up too much as he tries to hunt down Lennon. Next up though is Dunsterino. Dan will have DRS. But it isn't close enough to make a move. And Terry's has made a move on Chessbowl as Clen is into the pits. Chessbowl's had a moment somewhere because he's fell right behind Terry's. So it's actually not a proper overtake by Terry's. It's a mistake. He's capitalised on a mistake. And now he's under 3 seconds to NASCAR. If he stays in that 3 seconds, this could be a potential podium for the Visa Carb. A yellow flag. Who have we lost? It's the Sauber, Ricciardo Milos. There's car going again. Of course, you're on wets, mate. Of course, you're not going to make it. Cloud move. Lennon's caught up to Chessbowl after his mistake, who's been dropped by Terry's. Lennon will try and make a quick move. He's on fresher. Side by side with him on the exit on the final corner, and that's an easy overtake from Lennon. As Cheswell got a damaged wing by the looks of it. Lennon slots behind. It looks like he just lost an M plate, or it might be my eyes. He has lost an M plate, so no wonder he's struggling. Kessler loses a couple of positions. Ooh, tries to fight back on the inside of Dan. It's just congested out of the final corner. Passes lap for Regan McKinnon. He works his way up from P11. Finally, Ricciardo pits to get off these bloody wets. Guna losing out to Dan Morris. Kessler pushing the Haas round. NASCAR getting himself another penalty, which would be an absolute delight here for Terry Reds. Benchard's just under 2 seconds now, closing the gap on Benji. And we've lost Magel. Looks like at turn 4. Still no bloody safety car. This game's rigged. It's fine. Sometimes you don't like things decided by a safety car, but also just like the drama. That's my only standards. Benchard. Can he make use of that extra lap advantage on his tyres? Terry Reds keeping it NASCAR honest. Stonsterino making a move on Cheswell's damaged car up to P6 now for the Sauber. Glenn getting himself fastest lap. He's pushing the McLaren, and the eyeing up Giza next in his sights. And interestingly here, as we just have a look at Guna. Benja now up to P7. I told you it'd be up there. As Benchard is almost a second within DRS. He's pushing. Just teetering over the top of that 1 second, and he's closing in. It's a shame the DRS zone's around. You can see Benji's pushing for all his might. We're on lap 18 of 25, so he's got a good 8 laps, including this one, to defend here from the Mercedes, who's he's flying. Now this must be one of his tracks where he's just absolutely settled. Kessler and Goon having a good battle as Glenn does make the move. Oh, excuse me, on Kiza. And finds himself up to P9 now in the McLaren. Missed the first couple of races, Glenn, after his demotion down from Div 1. So he's got himself settled. Kessler and Guna slapping each other like bitches in a playground. Jostling for position, all the while Josh is joshing behind. Incredible battle here for P13. As Guna and Ricciardo Milos both get themselves some penalties. Benja on these fresh mediums, pushing here on Dunsterino. Every position counts. Benja, of course, he's got himself a few couple of podiums last season. He wants all elusive first win. Just needs to find the extra. It is close at the front, Benedict. Bench is closed right in from about 3 seconds behind Benji. And Clen does make that overtake on Chessball. Oh no, Chessball on Clen. Chessball fighting back. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. I think it's Gunnar and Kessler, is it? Milos is going to get himself disqualified with the amount of penalties he's got. As Josh gets past his teammate. Team orders are played. Josh is stuck behind and Gunnar not getting past Kessler as quick as he'd like to. Oh, Regan McKinnon. Oh no. As Benchard's had a mistake. He's had an error. And he's fucked up his chance for the race win. Benji will be laughing his way to the bank. Chessball losing out to Geezer here. I think he's made a mistake as well because Clen's screeched away. But NASCAR now all over the back of Benchard. Hopefully Bench doesn't have any damage. Was that caused by Benji? Or was it himself? We'll find out. He's got both his end plates, so it's not too bad. So he's just losing out to NASCAR's DRS. But he's under threat now from Lennon, who's chasing after him. He's haunting him down like a stalker as Regan McKinnon's in the pits. Lennon needs to get under that 1 second. Can he make use of these mediums on the alternate strategy? But he needs to brake unless Terry's gets a penalty, which Terry's normally gets a penalty. NASCAR gets another one. That will drop him down a couple of places here off the podium. And he is within DRS now around the final corner. Might have just missed the dome. As Terry's had better traction. Oh, is that? It's not Kessler. It's Ricciardo Milos. Not liking this track at all. And that's a... Oh... This is even playing into even more hands if Terry's can close that gap. Benchard gets himself a penalty. Benji, unless he messes this up, this race is his. Oh, clatter of the wall there for Kessler. Managed to keep his car going though. But that's opened the door for Josh. Italian hand gesture for Singh, his first one. As you see Josh going off the track, followed by his teammate. The Hasses can't keep it on the circuit. NASCAR pushing Bench. If they're battling, it could open the door for Terry's and Lennon to close in. At the moment, Terry's will be on the podium. Just what position will he be on? If he gets this gap under 3 seconds, there'll be a high chance he can get himself onto P2. Up goes NASCAR up to P2, making the overtake on Bench. Although they've got penalties, you're still racing to the end. Bench slots behind as we've got this battle behind. As NASCAR's made a mistake out of turn 4, open it up for Bench to go back through again. Oh, NASCAR's gone back through. Is Bench giving it him back? Have they had a collision? I think Bench must have hit him. Yeah, a little wiggle and a thank you there from NASCAR. As Regan McKinnon gets himself on the fastest lap with those soft tyres. Don't think that'll be beaten. And what has happened with those two playing the niceties? Terry Reds and Lennon have joined the party. And this could open the door for Terry's to get himself on a decent podium position. It won't close the gap to Benji, who's at the top of the pile, but could move him up 1 or 2 positions in the standings. And Bench's penalty could play its part as well. Another yellow flag. Dunsterino's out! Oh, with 3 laps to go, he's crashed out. Ricardo Milos has hit Bench as well. This guy, what's up with him today? And it is a VSC. No, it's a full safety car. It's full safety cars come out on lap 22. That's incredible. I've been saying all race that where's the bloody safety car. Now we're seeing everybody pit. The only one that didn't pit is Benchard, and that was a mistake. He's gone for track position, but he's got a penalty. He should have pit. He should have pit. Now those that have got a 10-second penalty, there's going to be 1 or 2 that are going to double stack. But oh my Christ, there's a safety car. Which means there's probably going to be a 1-lap sprint. This is going to be carnage. Oh my God. Yeah, I think everybody's pretty much pitting. Kessler decided not to pit. So he's got himself up to P8 going for track position. But then gets himself a penalty under the safety car, you clown. Pufferfish move. Oh my God. Now this. And Dunsterino, both Saubers are out. Dunsterino is going so well. So as it stands in track order, is that Benchard will take the win for the Challenger and Benji for the professional. But penalties are there. This could get Benja onto the podium. Safety car is in this lap. Oh, that's completely screwed everyone up that was pitted further behind. Clen should catch the pack. It'll be struggle here for Kessler. So we got a 2-lap sprint, and it's pretty much a sprint for the first 7. Now this could be spicy. You can't overtake until the timing line. You've got to wait for the safety car to go in. Bench is a sitting duck. So is NASCAR, who didn't pit. He might as well let him past. Bench hasn't gone. Oh, this is not the best safety car restart I've ever seen. It's going to be clusterfuck on turn 1. Lennon on the inside of NASCAR gets pinched. Has to slot behind. He's got ahead of Terry's. Benji's gone through on Bench. Lennon's gone past NASCAR up to P3. Oh, NASCAR squeezes through, just taps Lennon's wing. I think Benja and Clen need to keep it clean. Clen's actually got past Benja. So this could be a podium for Clen if he stays within the penalty sector. NASCAR on those old tyres is holding up everybody else. The other 2 have broken free already. Regan McKinnon's out. And has got past NASCAR up to P3 now for the Ferrari. Terry's does not want to get held behind this Aston Martin, neither do Clen or Benja. Terry's managed to make the move. Does he? Has he made it stick? He hasn't made it stick just yet, has he? It's still side by side. Oh, this is brave from NASCAR, but he's on older, harder tyres. He's a reserve. He probably should get out of the way. Elbows out driving. Further down, Josh gets past Dan. Up to P11. 5 drivers out. It's all happening at the end of this race. Crazy. Terry's now gets past NASCAR. Down to turn 1. DRS will be on this final lap. Clen taking a look at NASCAR. He needs to make this move. They both do if they want a chance for a podium. Because all the while, Lennon with his penalty, Benchard with his penalty. Well, Brainsbury. Klenner's got past NASCAR already. That's the move that the McLaren needed to make for a chance for a podium. And it's a train behind Benchard. This could be a P2 here for Klen. For Terry's and P3 for Klen. Josh getting a penalty. NASCAR out of that DRS range, and Benjo stuck behind the Aston Martin. This could be good news for Keys Giza as well, gaining a position on penalties. But I did not expect that late safety car to come out. Has completely thrown this all over the place. Lennon's, this is for position. We'll try and get past Bench. We'll have DRS. Another penalty on the inside of 22. It's going to be tight. Brilliant drive from both of them. Oh, wow, brilliant driving. Benj has got past NASCAR finally. But it might be a little too late for the Williams. Singh gets fastest lap. As Bench does lose out to Lennon on the final time. But Benji will cross the line and take the race win in Saudi Arabia. Pretty easy right to the end. NASCAR retaking with Benja to the line. But Lennon will cross the line. Now where will these positions end up? Terry takes P2, Klen takes his P3, Lennon comes home P4, Bench P5, so Bench will take P1 in the Challenger, P6 for Benja, 7th for Keyser, Chessbowl P8, 9th for Kessler, 10th for NASCAR, all the way down to 10th for his penalties, Dan P11, Josh at 12th, Guna 13th, Rep Saka will take 14th, and Singh will take 15th as we wait for them to cross the line. But a crazy finish to the race. It was always going to be some sort of slapping. And yeah. Questionable restart from Benchard. It was on those old hards. Let's wait for Rapsaka and Singh to come and take the finish. And there's quite a few drivers that have crashed out of the Challenger Championships. There's some big points for those that finished. Dan says Benji's the Callum of Div 2. Potentially, he just had a better strategy. Benchard was all over him, but then made that mistake, remember? But he gets himself another race win. Spicy, says Callum. Of course, it was a spicy finish. That's extending his lead at the top of Div 2 is Benji. Singh takes the fastest lap. But this is your order. Benji with the race win. Congratulations to Terry's with P2 finally. And from P14, Klen takes P3. Fantastic points there for the McLaren. Lennon comes home P4, P5 for Benchard, who takes the P1 in the Challenger Championship. Benja, P6, P7 for Keys Giza. I think he'll be quite happy with that, considering it's not his favourite track. P8 for Chess Bowl. P9 for Kessler, who takes P2, and from P17. And NASCAR rounds off the top 10. P11 for NASCAR, for Dan. 12 for Josh. Guna takes P13 and P3 in the Challenger. Rep Saka, P14, Singh P15, with Regan, Dustarino, Ricciardo Milos, Magel and Sygate all retiring from the race. It was a difficult race anyway, but that last minute safety car was threw everything into the air. It's like those shamans that have those bones and just throw them in the air, and then you wonder what they're going to turn out when they hit the floor. It turned out pretty well for some. And yeah, entertaining race at the end. Loved it, and I hope you all did too. Like I say, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, Terry Reds will tell me off for not saying. If you want to join us next week, then please join us next Wednesday, 7:30 UK for Div 1 at the Hungaroring. and then 9 p.m. UK Div 2. It is the first of 2 mandatory tyre races, which means every driver has to use a soft, medium and hard compound tyre in the race, which means it's all down to strategy and how you play the race itself. If you want to join that, you'll be seeing me there. Thank you for joining us. My name's Alex. This is Lights Alley Racing. Peace out.